Morning, television family. We are back at it, going to work hard. Normally we don't on a Wednesday. We're going to make an exception today. It's the 19th day of June. Happy Juneteenth. I'm Dan Kuntz, the last full day of spring with the summer solstice coming tomorrow afternoon. And it's Wednesday. That's right, we don't have that anymore. We lost our little Winning Wednesday video. It got, I don't know, it disappeared somewhere. It is Winning Wednesday. We're bringing it back here on this Wednesday because it's Wednesday and this is the day we give stuff away. And today we're giving away food, free food from the Anvil Sandwich Company. Now, I went down there about a month ago and had lunch there. It was good. The Anvil Sandwich Company is on Riverside Drive, right across the street from the park. Very popular among downtown people who have lunch, which is most of them. Good food. I had a turkey sandwich. It was really good. The Anvil Sandwich Company on Riverside Drive. We have a $50 gift card to give away from those good folks if you send in your email, winner@ncwlife.com, winner@ncwlife.com. You know the rules by now. Employees of local telecommunications, solely on broadcasting, and their immediate families are not eligible. Sorry, Stetson. And if you don't enter, you can't win. You have to enter the contest in order to win the contest. If you don't send me an email, you're automatically eliminated. You can enter more than once if you have more than one email address, but you can't enter continuously like 1,000 times over on the same email address. Number one, we keep track of these things, and number two, it's really annoying. A $50 gift card to the Anvil Sandwich Company on Riverside Drive. It's a beautiful location, nice campus. They have these box lunches to go. You can call them up and say, we need 3 roast beef, 3 turkeys, and 3 BLTs, and they'll put them all in a box for you. Just go down there and pick them up, take them back to the office, or better yet, go out to the park on a beautiful summer's day and eat outside, al fresco. And it's a good day to do that, too. Weather forecast is coming up for this last day of spring. The warming trend really begins today. Again, send me your email, winner@ncwlife.com, for a $50 gift card to the Anvil Sandwich Company right on the river here in beautiful Wenatchee, Washington. Yep, going to be a beautiful day today. Lots of sunshine. It's 54 now. No wind today. Warmer today than yesterday. Tomorrow will be warmer, and then right on up. We peak on Saturday and Sunday. Not only do we cool down, but we're going to get breezy again on Sunday. All those details are coming up. Plus, we got news. They did arrest a suspect yesterday in Ohio in the homicide last week involving the East Wenatchee woman. We'll have that story. The Mariners won. They're the hottest team in baseball, have been since the end of May. They beat Cleveland in an offensive showcase. Cleveland gave them a game, but the Mariners pulled it out. Apple Sox took one on the chin big time. The Yakima Valley Pippins had no problems with Wenatchee last night down in Yakima, the Palm Springs of the Northwest. We'll have that in sports. And this Saturday, the weather's going to be perfect. The big party about 2.5 blocks from where I'm sitting at Memorial Park in downtown Wenatchee. It is Wenatchee Pride Festival this Saturday. Kelsey Riggs is the president of the Wenatchee Pride Organization. I went last year. It's just tons of fun with food and entertainment and a beer garden and lots of booths. It's going to be where you want to be this weekend. Kelsey will tell you all about it in the back half of the program. And let's do our tour. We're going to start out with the Wenatchee Heights camera, giving you a slightly different angle. We're got it concentrated almost exclusively on the East Wenatchee bench. You can see, make out the Highlander Golf Course a little bit, Pangborn Memorial Airport. You can see Highway 28 at the bottom of your screen. So that is the normal Heights camera. It's just pointed out towards, well, that area, towards Rock Island, but it's really the East Wenatchee bench where we can see the Highlander and some housing developments in Pangborn. That's a nice view there from our Wenatchee Heights camera. Lake Wenatchee is placid and quiet and smooth as glass, as it has a tendency to be. You can see it's a little choppy up where the Little Wenatchee and the White River flow in at the top of Lake Wenatchee. Outside of that, it's just beautiful. Still some snow way up top, and it will continue to melt. So my guess is Lake Wenatchee is like really cold to go swimming in, but the people might be enticed to pop into the cool water, especially on Saturday. Nice view there. To Slide Ridge we go, trying to get a shot of the Pioneer Fire. It's still burning. It could burn just for a long time. Thank goodness this fire is really burning in the middle of nowhere. It's not really threatening any structures or houses. Nobody's been injured. They're still working on it. They're dumping water on it, but it's pretty remote, the Pioneer Fire, and that's kind of about the best angle we have. That's Slide Ridge. If we turn that camera to the right, we'd be able to see Manson, the greater Manson area. And speaking of a camera that gives us a huge view, we got that baby pulled back a little bit. Still some high clouds up in the Omak Okanagan area. We don't have any down here. That's just, those clouds will be dissipating as the day progresses. Alta Lake in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. But that Billy Goat camera is zoomed way back, and of course the Alta Lake Golf Course right at the bottom of your screen. A fun track. It's a good 18 holes. Warming trend. Here's another slide from the National Weather Service, which also shows some locations we normally don't spotlight. For instance, Leavenworth is mentioned there, Moses Lake and Omak, and other places as well. As you can see, we're going to warm up little by little by little, topping off on Saturday, and then we cool down on Sunday with, unfortunately, some wind, because by Sunday that big ridge of high pressure is not really so big. It's going to move to the east, and that will allow a trough to take its place. And even though the trough isn't carrying any moisture with it, we wish it was, it's going to create some gradient pressures, and that means winds we're picking up all over our viewing area on Sunday, and you know what that means, increased fire concerns. So get ready for a windy Sunday, but until we get there, no complaints at all. By the way, sunrise this morning, 5:04. That's a minute later. Sunset 9:01. So specifically, 15 hours, 57 minutes, and 29 seconds of daylight. Tomorrow will be the longest day of the year. It'll be 3 seconds longer tomorrow than today. The summer solstice is at 1:50 tomorrow afternoon. From the National Weather Service on this Juneteenth, sunshine, warm, nice wind, perfect. Absolutely gorgeous. If you're a government worker, you probably have the day off today. All the federal workers have the day off. I know the city of Wenatchee is closed, so they're going to be goofing off in this nice weather with a high of about 80, 56 for the overnight low tonight. Then we jump up another 5 degrees or so on Thursday, and then another 5 degrees on Friday, and then another 5 degrees on Saturday. And then, as we mentioned before, the ridge of high pressure will begin to move to the east early Sunday morning. By Sunday afternoon, we're going to see some windy conditions and considerably cooler on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. But the first full day of summer, which is Friday, is going to be the first time we're going to hit 90 this year. That's hard to believe, but we have not hit 90. We've come close. We've hit 88 a couple of times, but we haven't gotten to 90. We will on the first full day of summer, which is the last day of this week. Going to take a break and come back with your news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley Wednesday edition on the NCW Live channel.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour. Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new mid-size Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works Shared Membership Model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
$55 degrees, few high clouds, bountiful sunshine for everybody. 80 today, 85 for the afternoon high on Thursday. And to 90 we go on Saturday, and certainly on Friday as well. It's 10 minutes after the hour. Authorities have made an arrest in the alleged murder last week of Cynthia Ring, a 28-year-old East Wenatchee woman who was found dead in her East Mont Avenue apartment. East Wenatchee Police Chief Rick Johnson says an Ohio State Patrol officer yesterday morning pulled over and arrested 22-year-old Ashton Bunting Jr., who was wanted on an extradition warrant alleging second-degree murder. He was traveling near Toledo at the time of the arrest. Bunting had been sought as a person of interest ever since Ring was found dead by violence, apparently, on the night of June 11th, of course, in the same apartment where police found her 4-year-old child alone. Police say Bunting had already left the state by the time Ring's body was found. He was reportedly involved in a South Dakota car accident that afternoon and later traveled on to Minnesota, eventually Ohio, where he was arrested yesterday morning. He is expected to be extradited to Douglas County to face charges. A group of homeowners, rural homeowners in Chelan County, is suing Chelan County over what they say is unfair property tax assessments. 21 property holders in the Ponderosa community, that's just outside of Plain, filed individual lawsuits last week in Chelan County Superior Court, each one alleging that Chelan County's assessor willfully excluded key data when setting the assessment rates for their land and their structures, resulting in higher than expected tax bills. Many of the homeowners have successfully appealed their assessments multiple years in a row, but they say the county has used questionable methods for appraising property, and the county refuses to change them. The plaintiff's attorney, Brian Maroney, says they've already paid their taxes. They're only suing for a refund of what they say are excessive tax bills. The county has yet to file a response to those lawsuits. The Moses Lake School District has a brand new person in charge of the checkbook. A new executive director of finance is taking over. The district announced Monday that Mitchell Thompson, who was most recently responsible for business manager services at 3 Washington school districts, will take on the job. Thompson's previous roles included executive director of fiscal services at Centralia School District and the supervisor of enrollment and institutional funding at the Washington Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction. Thompson, of course, comes in after the Moses Lake School District announced a $20 million budget crisis last month. They had to lay off more than 100 teachers and reductions of 85 more classified staff members. The Moses Lake School District Communications Director, Clara McLaughlin, told us that the Executive Director of Finance role combines 2 vacated director positions. Okanagan County's power supplier failed to keep up with current clean energy laws when offering energy assistance programs for low-income ratepayers. That's the finding from the Washington State Auditor's Office, which says the Okanagan County PUD did not make energy assistance programs available to low-income households as required after 2019, and they did not correctly report the need for energy assistance across its service area. The PUD reported about $350,000 worth of needs across 386 households based on residential electric bills. The auditor says the real need is closer to $5 billion for 5,400 households that would qualify as low income. The PUD has disputed those findings. The state says it will continue to review the agency's compliance. Chelan and Douglas counties are going to get some money, several $1 million, from the settlement, the $150 million settlement against the opioid manufacturer Johnson & Johnson. You might remember back in 2020, Washington State Attorney General Bob Ferguson filed a lawsuit against Johnson & Johnson, asserting that the company, and I'm quoting now, marketed the long-term use of opioids at high doses without documented evidence of their effectiveness, ignoring the well-documented risks of its drugs, close quotation. Ferguson announced the settlement in January. It requires $123 million to be used to combat the opioid crisis. Now, $123 million lump sum is going to be evenly split. The state gets half of it. Local governments get the other half. Chelan County is going to get about $5.3 million. Douglas County is going to get about $2.5 million. The Attorney General's office says the local governments will determine how to spend that money. The former Wenatchee World Office Complex, of course, the building and the land is under new ownership, and they've been renovating the property, probably driven by it more than once. The newspaper, they're going to stay, but the rest of the building will become a number of open office spaces on the top floor and retail units on the street level. Our very own Casey Safford caught up with the property developers, got an inside tour to hear more about what they plan to do with the campus.
It's amazing how many spaces for like individual organizations you guys have created out of just one.
Yeah, and the Wenatchee World operations were kind of spread out all over everywhere, right? Press hall, like all over the building. So we were like the whole first year was just working with them on like figuring out ways to consolidate them, to like get them out of this random, room down the hall and over there, because that's just where they had always been.
Yeah, I'm sure it's easier to get together anyway.
Yeah, because you had a company that owned the business and the building, so it's kind of like they just did whatever. So, but we really kind of everything for the World is, well, they take that whole building, which is actually a separate building, both floors of that, and then everything on the lower levels. So, and we've scrunched them into that amount of space.
Well, every room goes back farther than I expect it to.
Yeah, so we've kind of put just doors in where we think maybe future, small tenant might need a division, because it's really small office leasing is kind of what we're shooting for.
And then we took again and used most of the, the art and what the press had done before, and tried to line the walls.
Yeah, this is all very press-centered.
Yeah, we wanted to continue we're calling this the World Office Suites, right? So we're trying to have that theme of, the Wenatchee Daily World newspaper being, the main tenant in the building still, but also the historical owner.
What we've done is this is going to get walled off, and then the World will have their complete own suite.
Okay.
And then what we did is we stitched, weld stitched all this structural steel.
I was going to ask what that was. I've never seen it.
This is called a weld stitch, and we stitched everything together to keep that impressive look of the industrial. And then and then we put a brand new opening into this suite up here, so that tenants who are up here have their own storefront door.
There's just like more privacy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Both Berks and Hamilton have kept customer accessibility and safety at the forefront of their design and construction plans. 3 parking lots surrounding the building will be available for customers, and those who choose to park in the back parking lot will find it well lit, offering a private stairwell that leads to an interior hallway. The hallway takes customers past the restrooms and directly to the tenants, so that no one has to walk around the exterior of the building. Both Berks and Hamilton are doing all they can to keep the overall style of the building in tune with its printing press history, including lining the hallway to the tenant business spaces with Prohibition newspaper headlines, keeping the original rail tracks used to transport heavy printing paper throughout the building, and one last special thing.
See these like foundational pours here? Yeah. At one point when they were doing one of those 30, 40 plus years ago, the Wenatchee World guys put a time capsule in here. Yeah, and we know some of them personally. They're our neighbors, just where I live, but we've known them for a long time. But they also still work for the World. And he was up here as we were asking him a question about the building. We needed to know something, and he marked out on the floor. He said, "There's a time capsule right here." When he was a kid and his dad was working here, is when they did the time capsule.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's like under the floor somewhere. Like, I don't know when you're gonna dig that out.
I don't know now with all the concrete on top of it.
Yeah.
But that's, just another cool element where it's like,
We might dig up the capsule when that tenant goes in.
And finally, on this Wednesday, the Indigenous Roots and Reparation Foundation is hosting a screening of a film that you might be interested in. North 40 put the film together. It's called Fish War. It's a documentary that explores a civil rights era battle between indigenous communities, the state of Washington, and non-indigenous fishermen for fishing rights. The film, which was also produced by Northwest Treaty Tribes Media, features rare archival footage and interviews with the activists, and asks what fishing rights truly mean in the face of climate crisis and human intervention. Fish War premiered at the Seattle International Film Festival. They had 2 sold-out screenings last month. The showing will be held next Thursday, June 27th at 7 p.m. at the New America Performing Arts Center. And it's good. And that's the news at 20 minutes after the hour. If you want to know what's going on around here, we have a staff whose job it is to tell you what it is, what's going on around here. We'll gather the news, disseminate the news, and whoop, out it goes on television at 5 and 6 and 10 o'clock tonight, 5, 6, and 10, the NCW Life Evening News. It'll be up and running right around 5 o'clock on our homepage, ncwlife.com, and our Facebook page, on our YouTube page. We got X, we got Instagram, we have a song in our heart. We're giving stuff away because it's Wednesday, and there's the QR code to download our app if we haven't done it, and send us an email if something out there you think is newsworthy, news@ncwlife.com. Mariners win big, Apple Sox lose big. Baseball, when we get to sports in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
It's Click It RV's lowest price guarantee sale going on now at your neighborhood Click It RV.
Be a winner like me and get the Click It RV.
With 0 down and no payments till October, now is the time to own your dream RV.
Get to Click It RV now. Are you going to be mad, bro?
Get never before deep discounts on trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and motorhomes. Plus the best selection, highest trade-in values ever, and a lifetime warranty. Nobody beats the discounts at Click It RV.
I'm Richard Sherman, and we guarantee it.
On Frontage Road.
Have you been to Boswell's Furniture lately?
Yes, Boswell's has an expansive 2-story showroom filled with so many great choices for our living room, dining room, and bedroom.
Did you know that Boswell sells directly from their store inventory, so we wouldn't have to wait to get our new furniture?
Yes, plus Boswell's has free local delivery and complimentary design service to help us with the layout and fabric choices.
No waiting and amazing customer service. I mean, why would we go anywhere else?
Boswell's on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
Come on, I'm a certified technician. I was trained to take good care of you.
9. I've only been to the dealer.
I've been coming here for years. These guys are great.
Look around. The BMW, the Jag, the Volvo, they're all waiting for regular service. Well, the BMW has a little computer issue, but that's nothing we can't handle. Come on in.
From regular maintenance to computer troubleshooting, trust the Global Car Care technicians with your import, diesel-powered, or domestic vehicle. Global Car Care. They speak your car's language.
Dankeschön.
How do you think like an entrepreneur?
I have had it in mind starting my own business. This is all really good to know right now. I am currently making a vision board. I am talking about my well-being, my personal finances, and habits that I would like to work on and to improve myself to be a better entrepreneur.
"23 minutes after the hour, the hottest team in baseball won again last night. So with their 4th straight win and 8th in their last 9 games, the Mariners are now 17-5 since May 26th. That's the best of baseball. They beat the Guardians 8-5 last night in Cleveland. J.P. Crawford, Luke Raley, and Dylan Moore went deep.
Hit hard to first. France goes to second. There's one. They'll get no double play. Crawford was looking to first, but Schneemann was getting down the line, and I think he beat Bryce Miller to the bag. So Guardians take the lead, give Schneemann his 6th RBI. It's 1-0 Cleveland.
Well, and Crawford also at shortstop. This is the toughest play. You don't want to lead the pitcher to first base. The only thing that can happen is something bad where he's not going to get there.
JP worked the walk to open up the ball game. He's ahead again. High fly ball, chasing Brennan. And the center fielder Schneemann on the track, and he can't get it. It's a 2-run homer for J.P. Crawford. How about that? J.P. with his 7th home run, RBIs 19-20, and the Mariners have a 2-1 lead.
So you take advantage of the 3-1 count.
That had some hang time.
Yeah, towering fly ball.
Cal trying to bring in another run. 2-1 Mariners, 2-run homer by J.P. a few minutes ago. It's pretty well tagged. Giving Chase Schneemann looking up off the wall out there. Rojas, he scores easily. And a nice RBI double and a jog to second for Cal Raleigh. Another RBI, his 44th on his 8th double. 3-1 Mariners.
Fastball pretty much middle of the plate. Almost hit it out of the ballpark.
The 2-run home. That's going to get some grass right there. Cal's going to stroll home, and motoring to third is Ty France. Manny will hold him there. RBI double Mitch Garver. ringing the bell, and the Mariners lead goes to 4-1.
A couple of doubles in the inning. That was on a curveball, probably just down out of the strike zone, but it's all.
That struck well. Slicing drive. Schneemann going back, and that's up the wall. Here comes Demo. He's going to score. JP strolls into second. It's a doubles parade here by the Mariners this evening. It's now a 5-1 Seattle lead.
And JP having quite the night. He's been on base all 3 times, including this double that drives in a run.
There's Brennan, single to center. Coming on Morelli. Oh, baby, what a play, what an effort. Outstanding work by Luke Raley. What else is new? Great job. A 1-2-3, 4th inning. Selling out, making the play.
Raley's 0 for 2.
Flied out to center and struck out on a 3-2 pitch. See him get one barreled up. Goes the other way, backs up Quan, who's checking where he is on the wall, and it is gone! Luke Raley goes up with a home run. Number 8, and the Mariner lead goes to 6-1. We get a home run, a 2-run shot by JP, and now a solo blast by Luke Raley. For Big Luke, RBI number 20. And here's a drive deep to left. Look at this. Bye-bye. Dylan Moore, what a night. Demo with his 7th home run and RBI number 23. He's been on base 3 times, has scored 3 times, and the Mariner lead is now 7-1.
Getting a fastball right in the middle of the plate at 94 miles an hour and drops the barrel on it.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Love his face mask.
Will Brennan kept the hands back, punches it into center field. Ramirez racing around third will score. Naylor all the way to third. And it's now a 7-2 ball game as Brennan has his 2nd hit of the night and his 22nd run batted in on the year. BigNissan.com.
Yeah, a good swing. He kept, and that was a splitter. That was not easy.
2-strike pitch. Little squibber to first. Diving stop, but they're not going to get him at first base. Ramirez with an infield RBI single makes it an 8-4 game. And the Guardians have 2 on with only 1 out, and Josh Naylor coming up.
And you see, it's little things like that that just keep innings going. And I mean, France,
1,000 of them up on their feet. Ground ball to short. Crawford to second for 1, on to first. They will not turn the double play. Brennan scores. It's an 8-5 ball game. Rocchio to third.
Boy,
been all sliders, has not shown him a fastball.
There we go. A ball and 2 strikes, trying to close it out. And he does. Moni finishes off Cleveland. 8-5. Mariners win. First game of 3.
Able to beat a really good team tonight. It took 5 relievers to get it to the house, but they were able to do it. A nice offensive night tonight. Dylan Moore had a really good night tonight. A little bit of everything for Dylan, as well as JP Crawford.
Manager Scott Service reminded reporters afterwards that it's always hard to win on the road, but if you score a lot of runs, it's easier.
With all the extra base hits, a couple home runs mixed in there early to get to their starter and some of their early bullpen guys, which isn't easy. They got a really good bullpen. But our guys came out really aggressive tonight. It was great to see. I thought Bryce Miller threw the ball well. Tired a little bit at the end. They're starting to get out in there 3rd time through the lineup. Bullpen, it wasn't pretty. We had some very effective pivots. Certainly both got us out of a jam. Stanek got us out of the jam, and Mooney got us out of the jam. So it wasn't exactly what we were looking for, but you got to pick each other up, and that's what our guys did tonight. So not easy to win on the road. You got to score runs. You got to get big outs late in the game, and we were able to do it. I thought we were really aggressive, ready to go against McKenzie, and he didn't look like he was on top of his game early on tonight, just command-wise. And when you have a guy like that out there, you got to keep the pressure on, and we jumped on him and got some runs early. He got in their bullpen early, which was critical. He's hit some balls really good. The last homestand, he struggled a little bit, with the strikeouts, but he hit balls good. They get caught oftentimes. JP's a really good player. We know what JP Crawford is. He's a heck of a competitor, and even if he's not in a hot streak, he's cool. He's going to figure out a way to get on base and do some things. So big night for him. Demo, Garv, a couple doubles. It was good to have Ty France back. I thought one of the biggest plays in the game was him picking the ball in the dirt on the comebacker from Thorny in that inning. Every out so critical at the end of the game. And we didn't play totally clean tonight. That's one thing we're going to have to tighten up here a little bit on the road trip, but offense can cover up a lot of things, and that's what it did tonight. Yeah, the whole group, we've changed our mindset a little bit, and it's working. I think this team works better in that mindset. Some teams, they're going to wait things out and hunt their pitch and all this other stuff. We just need to get up there and stay on the attack. And when we do that, we trust our eyes, and we usually do swing at the right pitches. We had 7 walks again tonight. I thought the fastball was good. It struggled to get to secondary pitches in play. They ran all the left-handed hitters against him. And again, the splitter was okay. It wasn't as good as we've seen in the past at times. And it's a tough lineup. They put the ball in play. They don't strike out a lot. So he was able to get this deep in the game and give us a chance to win it. That's all we ask.
Seattle and Cleveland will do battle again this afternoon at 3:40. Brian Wu is going to start. Now, remember, he missed his last start with arm discomfort. He's scheduled to start today. The Mariners' 10-game lead over both the Rangers and the Astros is the largest that any team has in any division in baseball, and it helps when the Rangers and the Astros lose, and they did exactly that yesterday. Mets beat the Rangers 7-6, and the White Sox knocked off the Astros. Brewers beat the Angels, and the Athletics over the Royals. A little closer to home, the Yakima Valley Pippins scored 5 runs in the first inning, 5 in the second, and they cruised from there 14-3 the final. Yakima Valley over Wenatchee at the Yakima County Stadium to snap Wenatchee's 5-game winning streak. Our good buddy Joel Norman has the wrap.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox dropped the first game of a 3-game set against the Yakima Valley Pippins with a 14-3 loss on Tuesday night at Yakima County Stadium. Wenatchee's 5-game winning streak in West Coast League action came to an end as they gave up 5 runs in both the bottom of the first and the bottom of the second innings. Antonio Gianni hit his West Coast League leading 4th home run of the season, and Luca Boscarino drove in 2 runs, but it was not enough for Wenatchee. They'll look to even up the midweek series against the Pippins as they face them again on Wednesday night at 6:35 at Yakima County Stadium. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you, Joel. To the scoreboard we go. Wenatchee's lead in the West Coast Northern Division is 2 games over Edmonton. Edmonton losing to Kelowna yesterday 6-2. They also have a 2-game lead over Bellingham, who beat Kamloops 8-2, and a 4-game lead over Victoria, who beat Nanaimo 8-3. The other winners yesterday in West Coast League, Portland knocked off Cowlitz. It was Springfield just by Corvallis, Bend beating Walla Walla, and Ridgefield over Port Angeles. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this 19th day of June. It is, of course, Juneteenth. It's National Watch Day, if you want to celebrate that. I've never owned a watch. I'm not a watch guy. Somebody once got me a watch for Christmas. I think it was my dad, and I never wore it. I'm just not a watch guy. It's a sauntering day. I have a tendency to saunter. Some people walk with a purpose, and they got something going on, and some people meander and saunter. I'm kind of a saunterer. We're not doing that. Today is National Martini Day. When I did the research for National Martini Day, it was a bartender in Manhattan whose first name was Martini who came up with the martini. He invented the drink as we know it today. It was basically gin, vermouth, and an olive. Now, when you mix alcohol and alcohol, you're going to get the job done. He also put in some orange bitters, and so that became the martini, and it became associated with New York City. And the martini is one of those drinks that is specifically drinking out of a martini glass. And that glass that you see there was not designed for martinis. It was designed for champagne, because champagne, you drink in those long, skinny little glasses, and they thought that we can do better than that, so they came up with the martini glass for champagne, and it eventually became the martini glass, one of the few drinks that you actually drink out of a specific receptacle. Happy National Martini Day. None for me. I'm working 34 minutes after the hour on this winning Wednesday. Happy birthday to baseball. 178 years ago today, June 19th, 1846, at the Elysian Fields in Hoboken, New Jersey, right across the Hudson River from Manhattan, the first officially recorded organized baseball game played under the rules of Alexander Cartwright was played. The New York Baseball Club defeated the New York Knickerbockers 23-1. And that's one of the cool, most romantic things about baseball. You look at a baseball game today, you watch a baseball game today, you're essentially watching the same game that was being played 125 years ago. You can't say that about football or hockey or certainly basketball, which hadn't even been invented yet. That's the cool thing about baseball. The first baseball game, as we know it, was played on this date 178 years ago today. This is Juneteenth. because of what happened in Galveston, Texas on this date a couple of weeks after the end of the Civil War, June 19th, 1865. General Gordon Granger's army lands in Galveston, Texas, gathers all the town folks together, most of them African American, and by the way, and said, "You're all free. We won. Union beat the Confederacy. Emancipation Proclamation, 13th Amendment, whatever. You're gone. You're free. Yay!" Juneteenth, the first one. And now, of course, it's been a federal holiday for the last few years. That was on this date in 1865. Happy birthday to Father's Day, which made its debut, if you will, or first celebrated in Spokane, the Lilac City. They actually have a historical marker outside of the old YMCA in Spokane, June 19th, 1910. Sonora Smart Dodd was her name, Sonora Smart Dodd. Her dad was a Civil War veteran, and he was a single parent. He was a widower, but he raised all 6 of his kids on his own and did such a great job that Miss Dodd said, "We got to do something for Dad," so Father's Day. And the first one ever in Spokane. Good job, Spokane. A nice claim to fame there. And this is the 75th anniversary of the very first ever NASCAR race. At Charlotte Motor Speedway, the first ever NASCAR race was held. And look at that photo. Just a rickety fence and a dirt track. It had banks, but that was about it. June 19th, 1949, Jim Roper wins the very first NASCAR race. And needless to say, the very first NASCAR race ended in a cheating scandal. Jim Roper won. Glenn Dunaway finished first of the checkered flag, but he was disqualified because he altered his rear springs. So there was cheating in the very first NASCAR race, and there's probably cheating today. Birthdays at 37 minutes after the hour. The leader of the Three Stooges, how would you like to put that on your business card? Mo Howard, the de facto leader of the Three Stooges. Larry, Curly, and Moe. I have my Three Stooges. I still have it right here. Here we go. Here we go. Curly is the only one who made it because the dogs got a hold of Larry and Moe and chewed them up. I remember that remark. Mo Howard, born in this state in 1897, and Henry Louis Gehrig. I did the research, and it took me so much work. I had to estimate. There have been about 600 retired numbers in North American sports history across baseball and football and hockey and the NBA. About 600 numbers have been retired. Lou Gehrig was the very first athlete to ever have his number retired, his number 4, when retired by the New York Yankees. He was the only Yankee ever to wear number 4. In 1934, he won the Major League Triple Crown. Not just the American League, all of Major League Baseball in home runs, RBIs, and batting average in 1934, and he finished fifth in the MVP voting. The greatest first baseman of all time, Lou Gehrig, born in the state in 1903. And happy birthday to Uriah. Looking over at Uriah. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Here comes the heat. You know the forecast. You already saw it. We're going to be in the 90s, mid-90s, certainly, by Saturday. Is your AC ready for it? Make sure Alpine Air can take a look at it. See if, you want to be cool when it gets hot. Special thanks to our friends at Pool to Spa Services. You want to be cool when it gets hot. Pool to Spa Services. If you got a pool, by the way, you need the chemicals to keep the water all nice and clean and fresh. They got them there. And special thanks to our friends at Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista in Wenatchee and East Wenatchee. Mike McNaughty really likes to read, but he bugs it when somebody's interrupting him when he's trying to read. He'll talk about that. And then Kelsey Riggs will be joining me. The Wenatchee Pride Festival. One big, super cool party is this Saturday. Kelsey will tell you all about it when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Hey folks, this is Blueberry Carey bringing you a public service announcement. With today's fast pace, sometimes you just need to be reminded to just breathe. Come on out to Blueberry Hills and enjoy the panorama of beautiful blueberry fields and these gorgeous North Cascades Mountains. Your food is always cooked fresh to order, and our down-home scratch country recipes are always well worth the wait. Our delicious breakfast dips, pies, and pastries await you and your family. So come on out to Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
the Wenatchee Valley. Here, most of us really enjoy the great outdoors, and most of us try to make the most of our natural resources. Here at Apple Valley Honda, we know that for generations, we have harnessed nature to sustainably power the West, and we are proud to be part of that tradition as an environmentally green dealership award winner. Being a green dealership means Apple Valley Honda has reduced our overall environmental impact. We are so proud to live in this wonderful community.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can lift this up. Time warranty.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue, family owned and operated on North Wenatchee Avenue, right next to Hooked on Toys. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue uses only fresh ingredients, handcrafted with love, including authentic Hawaiian barbecue and Japanese-style ramen noodle soups. And the bubble teas will keep you coming back for more. Enjoy the culinary tour of the Pacific Rim with Hawaiian barbecue lunches and combo plate classics, as well as ramen noodle soups. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue. Enjoy their comfort food like you're one of the family.
Okay, hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, I've always been a reader. I mean, reading is my safe place, my happy place. And whenever I'm asked what my favorite thing to do is, I say reading. Well, my favorite family-friendly thing. Okay, so I have news for you folks who are not readers. Reading is doing something. People who aren't readers see somebody like me reading a book and they think, hey, he isn't doing anything. I can talk to him and then be insulted if he doesn't hear me respond or if he just keeps his nose in the book. Now, reading is as legitimate as activity, which is rude to interrupt, as playing video games, talking on the phone, or contemplating your navel, whatever it is non-readers do. You may not like to read, but I do. So there. This is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and that's my opinion.
Don't miss the Grant County Fair in Moses Lake, August 13th through the 17th. Leading the entertainment list is Diamond Rio, Thursday, August 15th, with special guest Katie Wade. Friday night is 90s favorite Chingy, with special guest DJ Precise. And Wednesday night, two of the best tribute bands in the country, Best of Both Worlds, a Van Halen tribute, and Crazy Train, an Ozzy tribute. VIP tickets are available at gcfairgrounds.com.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Well, it may not look like it now, but come Saturday, this place will be a sea of humanity for the annual Wenatchee Pride Festival. Is it always the third Saturday in June, Kelsey? Is that about?
No, last year it was the first Saturday in June.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kelsey Riggs is my guest. Why the move of the venue? Just logistics, or I mean, not the venue, but why a little bit later?
It really depends on what other Pride events are happening this month in Washington. We didn't want to compete with Seattle Pride or Chelan Pride. Those are the two. Or we kind of competed a little bit with several other small prides. but we didn't want to compete with those two specifically. Spokane Pride was the same weekend as Chelan Pride, so we chose the 22nd.
See, and you're ready to go.
Yeah, we're getting it done. We're getting ready.
I came last year for about an hour and a half. The food was fantastic, and we got even more choices this year. You had a huge crowd last year. You must have been pleased.
Yeah, it was a really, really good turnout. We were really, really happy with the amount of people that came and showed up and wanted to support Wenatchee Pride, and just wanted to show up and celebrate the community, and it was a really good time.
People like parties. People like big parties.
They
and
do.
That's what this is, essentially.
Yeah, essentially it's a big party just to celebrate, the LGBTQIA+ community. And we're really fortunate that Wenatchee allows us to put this on, and that we have so much support here in our area.
Is the Valley getting it? Are we getting better in that regards? I mean, it wasn't that long ago where this kind of thing wouldn't fly, and now here we are.
I mean, there's definitely more support than there has been in the past. You know, you still have your outliers, though, that really voice their concerns or their discomfort with it. But those voices are getting more and more quiet as time goes on. And, every once in a while there's a really loud one, but everybody, kind of stands up and says, this isn't right, and really just supports us.
I was here last year, as I mentioned before. I didn't see there was not a single problem to be had. If anything, it was you have an overdose of smiles and good times is what I saw last year.
Yeah. I mean, that's the general consensus. I mean, there were a few protesters last year. Very, very small. They gave up pretty easy. I think that the amount of people that showed up really kind of overwhelmed them.
That's a nice problem to have.
It is. It's a good problem, yeah.
Tell me about the genesis of all this. I know the city of Wenatchee's been on board from day one. You got the proclamation from the mayor on Thursday. Take me back to the first couple of years when it was like, boy, should we do this? Can we do this? How do we do this?
Yeah, actually, I believe it started in either 2016 or 2017 at a local church. And from there, people came together and they decided they wanted to make it an actual festival, and so we started filling out permits and things like that to get it at parks. I know that 2019 it was at Lincoln Park, but for the majority of our time doing this, it's been here at Memorial Park, and it's just grown and grown and gotten bigger.
And looking at the lineup, and Kelsey said it to me that I didn't get a chance to read it. You got tons of stuff. Let's start out with the performers. There'll be a stage right here.
Yeah.
Built over the top of the Mayor's Fountain, as usual. Entertainment starts at 11 and goes all day, right?
It does. It goes all the way to 9 p.m.
So talk about some of the performers people can see.
Yeah, we have a few return performers. We have drag, so Ludafisk from House of Pisces will be here. Karma Del Rey and Punani Puse will be here. And then we have some bands that are going to be playing, Pizza Party.
Where do you find these acts? Where do you?
We just put out a call for acts, and we say apply, and we kind of review them, and we put them on our lineup if we like them, and luckily majority of them are very, very great.
Is Matt going to be back emceeing again this year?
Yeah, Matthew Pippin will be emceeing again this year. We're actually adding a couple comedians to our lineup too. Some of them are from out of the area, and some of them are from here. But yeah, we have a full day. I know that our first lineup is that the library is going to read a story, kind of kick everything off, and then Punani Puse will close the night out.
So you've figured out a pacing. It starts out with story time and it ends with a rousing, everybody getting together and dancing their asses off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can say asses, by the way, on television. There's a couple of acts whose name you can't say on television. We won't get back to that. You are bringing in tons of food. This is twice as many food vendors as last year.
Yeah, we had quite a bit more apply, and we're really excited to have them. I know that with the crowd that we had last year, the amount of food we had might not have been enough, but I think this year we're going to have plenty of food. And some return and some new ones. So, Birch Mountain Barbecue will be here again, and Yeti Chocolates will be here, Dooley Dogs, the Lemonade Guy, a couple of people from out of town.
I'm hungry already
Yeah.
just thinking about it.
Yeah.
And a lot of booths, lot of booths, some nonprofits, some for-profit, just sitting there and just talking to people.
Yeah, we actually have quite a few sponsor booths. We also have a lot of information booths, like Wenatchee PFLAG will be here, Planned Parenthood, YWCA, those places. And then we have actually quite a few vendors that are actually selling shops and services. And altogether, I believe we have about 108 vendors that are going to be here.
Do you have room for 108 vendors?
Yeah, my treasurer and I, a couple weeks ago, actually about a month ago, came out here and we measured everything and did all the placement. And then it was just a matter of filling the spaces.
So as soon as last year's festival was over, did you immediately start planning for 2024? This worked, this didn't work, we like this act, maybe not bringing these people back. Talk about that.
And then, July is kind of our off period, but starting in about August, we kind of started throwing ideas out. I know that we immediately picked our next weekend as soon as we could, based on who we didn't want to compete with and stuff. But it does pretty much, this is the biggest event that we put on, and so the planning begins almost immediately.
What do you want people to take away from this? What do you want people to, when they come and they're going to have a good time, trust me, you're going to have a good time. When they're heading back home in their car or walking downtown or something, what do you want people to take away from this?
Well, I want them to feel good. I want them to feel good that they came and supported the community and they celebrated it. And I want them to just realize that we're really thankful for their support and that we put this festival on for the community, for them to be able to be happy and feel like they're doing something important and to celebrate them. And I hope that they have a great time. I mean, I really hope they have a great time.
This is all volunteer, right? Nobody's getting paid a dime, right?
Yeah, we don't get paid anything. We actually have a very small board this year. There's only about 4 of us.
How does the 4 of you put together an event of this size? It's going to be pretty much all day Saturday. How do you pull that off?
A lot of a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. A lot of really hard work and just sticking with it. Reaching out to former board members that are able to help, reaching out to the community that are able to help. But what we've been able to do in the last few weeks pulling this together has been a miracle and just great. And I'm so proud of my board.
How many? You mentioned that this is the biggest one yet.
Yeah.
Are you afraid that you might have to move venues because this place is perfect?
Yeah.
But it sounds to me like you're going to pack this joint on Saturday.
We are going to pack it. There's some places in the park that we didn't put anybody. So there's still room for growth. I mean, Apple Blossom gets pretty big and they have all kinds of vendors and stuff. And then, the park is packed and eventually maybe Pride will get to be that big. And
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, it would be. And so there's plenty of space in the park. We tried to keep, most of the vendors around the main avenues just so that it's easily accessible and stuff. But there's all kinds of grass and stuff for us to cover.
And beer garden.
Yeah.
You got to have a beer garden.
Right, yeah, we have a great beer garden. We got Icicle Brewing Company donated some beer, and Yonder Cider donated some beer, or cider. And it's going to be a really good time.
So music, entertainment,
right.
Beer, food, vendors. I think you got it all.
Yeah.
Oh, other activities, stuff for the kids to do. We can't forget about that.
Yeah, our kids zone is from 11 to 3. We brought back our bouncy houses. Those were the most popular thing that we did.
Do you have to take your shoes off before you get into it?
Of course, yeah. Brought those back. We're going to have some yard games that we're going to play. I believe we're going to have face painting. But yeah, the kids zone was a huge hit last year. We also brought in a soft play zone last year for the younger kids, and we brought that back too. So,
for most of the vendors, do you recommend just bring cash? I mean, for the beer garden or food or anything, or was everybody going to have the little card reader things? Because I'm a card guy now. I don't think
yeah, I mean, I would do both. I'd bring cash just in case, but then most vendors do actually have an electronic way of paying. either through even Venmo or PayPal if you do that, or through card.
I know it's late in the game when we air this. Again, it's this Saturday. Starts at 11 o'clock right here at Memorial Park. How you doing for volunteers? I mean, can you always, hey, people raise their hand, I'll give you a hand with setting stuff up or something? Could you still use a few?
Yeah, we still could use a few. I believe we have a little bit more than half. We need about 120 or 130, I believe. And the last time I checked, we had about 70. We've been putting out calls for volunteers like every few days on social media. If anybody's interested in volunteering, please go to our website and sign up. You can sign up for there's a few shifts of a few different things, and whatever you can do, that would be great.
Again, it's this Saturday at Memorial Park. I went last year. It was a blast. The food was fantastic. You're going to meet some really, really cool, interesting people. Any specific sponsors or people you want to thank that without those folks this wouldn't be happening? Anybody that jumps out of your head, Kelsey?
Yeah, I would really love to thank Luncheon House. They donated quite a bit of money. Confluence Health, CBCH, Double Delicious. Who else donated money? Automoca. Yeah. We had a lot of sponsors this year. That's really, really helped us out.
Well, I'm going to be dropping by, and I'm looking forward to it. And everybody is invited, again, to the big Wenatchee Pride Fest number. Well, we lost COVID, right? You didn't do one for a couple of years. So.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just come down. I'm terrible at math. Have a good time, and I'll see you on Saturday.
Yeah, you too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
thanks for taking some time out.
Yeah, of course. I'm glad to do this.
Yeah. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
The Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce presents Wonders of Wooden Avenue.
Welcome to the newest and funnest fashion boutique on Wooden, featuring mountain chic clothing and men's footwear from UGG, Brixton, Sorel, and Free People. Walk on into the Tiffany Blue Building on the second block of Wooden and check it out.
It is nearly impossible to describe what you'll find in Lush Life. It's an eclectic collection of items from around the world. See it for yourself at the corner of Wooden and Emerson.
Wonders of Wooden Avenue, North Central Washington's premier shopping district.
Your home runs on hot water. From the kitchen, to the bath, to the laundry. So Rheem offers a wide variety of water heaters, from traditional models to ones smart enough to tell you how much hot water is available. On second thought, perhaps the laundry can wait.
Call After Hours Plumbing for all your water heating needs.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Before we send you on your way on this Winning Wednesday, a friendly reminder, it's Winning Wednesday. The Anvil Sandwich Company on Riverside Drive, right across Riverside Drive from Riverfront Park. Lots of shade trees. Go down there and get your lunch. They serve breakfast on Saturdays from 9 to noon. Very popular spot for those people who like to do the loop on a beautiful Saturday morning, and it's going to be a beautiful Saturday morning. Send in your email, winner@ncwlife.com. I got a $50 gift card, 50 bucks, with a free food from the Anvil Sandwich Company on Riverside Drive, right along the river in Wenatchee. Send in your email, winner@ncwlife.com. Employees of local telecommunications, solely broadcasting, and their immediate families are not eligible. Sorry, Uriah. If you don't enter, you can't win. And we are in for a nice stretch of weather all the way through Saturday. We're going to hit 80 today with just a nice slight breeze, just gorgeous, beautiful. This is the last full day, of course, of spring. 56 for the overnight low tonight. The summer solstice is at 1:50 tomorrow afternoon, so we transition from spring to summer during the day on Thursday, and it's going to feel summer-like with a high of 85. And look at Friday, the first full day of summer. On Friday, we're going to hit 90 for the first time all year. We have not hit 90. We will do so on Friday, and if we don't do it on Friday, we're certainly going to do it on Saturday, and then the ridge breaks down and will be a little breezy on Sunday. And that's it for us. Have a great Wednesday. Have a great Juneteenth. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
On today's Wild West, we'll settle up for a high country getaway at Wyoming's Medicine Bow Lodge.
Will Rogers was the most famous person in the world.
Plus, the lasting legacy and historic estate of America's legendary Indian cowboy, Will Rogers.
There's never been anybody like him since.
Plus, the Western paintings of Morgan Weisling.
Every character I put in is real to me.
It's all next on today's Wild West. The Wild West. It's still out there. And we'll show you how to find it. This is today's Wild West. Fishing. Rafting.